Raise. When increasing the height or amount of something, you can use the word raise. We also use this word when describing the growth of plants, animals, and human beings. The sentences below show how raise is used as a verb. The simple form is raise. The past tense is raised, and the past participle is raised. Farmers who raise animals need to feed and take care of them. The price of gasoline is raised when the supply goes down. Renee is raising 5 children. Children at school raise money through bake sales. Our teacher raised her voice when she got mad at a couple of students. John raised his bet at the poker table when he realized he had a good hand. Raising corn is very difficult when there's a drought. When the word raise is used as a noun, it describes an increase in salary or wages. All of the workers at the factory received a raise because they met their production goals. Tina asked her boss for a raise because she doesn't think she gets paid enough for the work that she does. It's hard to get a raise when there's a recession. Rake. A rake is used for gardening and lawn maintenance. In the spring, homeowners rake their lawn to remove dead grass and debris that has accumulated over the winter. Gardeners use a rake in their gardens when preparing the soil for planting. In the fall, it's necessary to rake the leaves that have fallen off of the trees. This man has raked the leaves into a leaf pile. Beaches and other areas with sand need to be raked regularly to remove seaweed and garbage. Here are a few other circumstances in which you might hear the word rake. Our company is raking in the profits this quarter. We're really raking it in. Walter's boss raked him over the coals for misusing a vehicle owned by the company. Ramp. A ramp is a structure that moves things or people from one level to another. Ramps are commonly found in buildings, on highways, and for public facilities in which people move up and down. A mechanic might use ramps to lift a car off the ground. When you drive to the downtown of a city, you park your car in a parking ramp. A person in a wheelchair can't use a stairway, so he or she goes up a ramp in order to enter a building. To enter or exit a highway, use an on-ramp or an off-ramp. A ramp is used when boarding an airplane. People who like to skateboard do tricks on ramps. The word ramp can also be used as part of a verb phrase, ramp up. To ramp up something is to increase it. Our company is ramping up production. They need to ramp up their hiring of new employees in time for the holidays. The military ramped up its readiness in anticipation of an attack. Random. If something happens at random, it happens without regularity or predictability. It's almost impossible to plan for a random event. You can only prepare for it. Lightning strikes people at random. If you play the lottery, you can have numbers picked for you at random. The teacher called on students at random and expected them to know the answers to her questions. There have been several random shootings in the United States recently. The supervisor chose employees at random when deciding who would work over the weekend. A number of mindless random decisions made by the owner of the company led to its closure. How much RAM is on your computer? RAM stands for Random Access Memory. Rank. Use the word rank when describing the order or sequence in which things or people are compared. In these sentences and questions, rank is a verb. How does that school rank among the others? How highly does it rank? This magazine article ranks the cars that get the best gas mileage. How did you rank as a student when you were in school? How would you rank the overall quality of this grocery store? In these sentences, rank is a noun. It's also possible to use the word ranking. This college has a very high ranking among colleges in the Midwest. What was your rank in high school? This hotel received a low ranking and bad reviews. His rank in the U.S. military is that of a general. People working in the lower ranks of the company were let go first when there were layoffs. Workers in the rank and file had no idea there were problems with the company. Rant. To rant about something is to complain loudly about it. A person loses his or her temper and speaks at length about something that is causing a problem. What is he ranting about? He's going off on a rant. Someone videotaped the woman's rant and put it on YouTube. The woman lost her cool and went off on a rant. Melinda went off on a rant when her boyfriend borrowed her car and didn't tell her he was taking it. The teacher got into a long rant against the students who weren't listening to her lecture. A customer came into the grocery store ranting about some rotten oranges he had bought earlier. I really don't want to listen to your rant. The words rant and rave are often used together. Everyone is ranting and raving about the traffic situation. From way down the block, we could hear a man ranting and raving about something, but we couldn't make out what it was. You can't rant and rave about the election results if you didn't vote. Rare. Something that is hard to find or doesn't happen very often might be rare. Dan found a rare coin that is worth a lot of money. It's rare to see so many geese at this time of year. The Rolling Stones made a rare appearance in Cuba last week. For a woman to give birth to quintuplets is very rare. A blue moon is a rare event. We also use rare to describe a beef steak that has not been cooked for very long. A steak ordered rare will be red inside. Vince ordered a steak cooked rare. His wife ordered her steak medium rare. Adding an ly ending to rare creates the adverb rarely. This has almost the same meaning as almost never. She rarely wakes up before 9 a.m. We rarely see snow in September. Nathaniel is rarely in school. He's not a very good student. Rat. A rat is a type of rodent. It looks like a very large mouse, but it has a thick, long tail and a long nose. Rats are common throughout the world. While they are found in nature, they thrive living alongside human beings in densely populated areas where there is poor public sanitation. Most people regard rats as pests. They're destructive and they can spread disease. The word rat can be used to describe a person whose behavior is sneaky or dishonest. That guy is a dirty, lying rat. Those rats at the gas station gave me the wrong change. Claiming to serve in the public interest, it seems that the rats who work in government care only about themselves. The lawyer we hired to help us turned out to be a rat. Jeremy learned that his landlord was a thieving rat who stole things from the tenants in the apartment building. The drug dealer ratted out the people he worked with to the FBI. This word is also used as an expression of frustration. Oh, rats, I forgot to lock the door to my house. Rats, my cell phone is low on juice. Rate. A rate is an amount of money that a person has to pay for something, especially if a price goes up and down. The rates at that hotel are kind of high. Interest rates on loans are very low right now. The exchange rate in that country favors the US dollar. We were thinking about renting a car in New York, but the rates were too high. Sometimes a rate refers to speed. The rate at which they were traveling broke the speed limit. Mike is growing quickly. At this rate, he'll be 6 feet tall by the time he's 13. If you use rate as a verb, the meaning is quite different. To rate something is to give an opinion about quality. A person who rates uses a scale or a rating system that other people understand. How does this restaurant rate against others that serve the same kind of food? This movie is rated R. How does this car rate in Consumer Reports? The word rating is a noun. The cafe scored a bad rating from the critic who reviewed it. Leonard's supervisor gave him a high rating on his performance review. The ratings for the Academy Awards show are almost always high. Raw. Use the word raw when food is not cooked. It's not safe to eat raw meat. You should cook it first. Gabriel tells me beef is sometimes served raw in his home country. Raw fish is found in sushi. I like to eat herring raw. Raw vegetables, such as broccoli or carrots, taste good with some sort of a dip. You can also use the word raw when something is new, freshly exposed, or a natural element. Raw materials needed for building a house are hard to find in the desert. Harold's hands are still raw and blistered from working in his garden all day. The raw and unfinished appearance of her artwork drew both criticism and praise. A large group of raw military recruits had a tough first week of basic training. Kim hit a raw nerve when she mentioned John's divorce. There are a few expressions that use the word raw. Cindy and Brad got a raw deal when they purchased their house. Paparazzi secretly took photos of the celebrities as they lay on the beach in the raw. Razor. A razor is used for cutting things. Most people use razors for cutting hair off of the face or other parts of the body. A man uses a razor to shave his face. To shave, you need a razor and shaving cream. An electric razor provides a clean, close shave without shaving cream. Women use razors to shave their legs. Inside a razor is a razor blade. A razor blade is extremely sharp. The word razor can be used as an adverb or an adjective to describe thinness and sharpness. The candidate won the race by a razor-thin margin. These scissors are razor sharp. A prisoner who was trying to escape from prison cut himself on the razor wire surrounding the facility. Bill's razor stubble shows up just a day after he shaves. Reach. To reach is to get or achieve something. You can use your hands to reach for something on a table, or you can become motivated enough to reach your goals. Sometimes reach is similar to the word arrive. You can also use this word when trying to contact someone. The word reach is often used as a verb. Maria reached for a stack of plates in the kitchen. Can you reach the top shelf, or do you need something to stand on? Bill tried to reach across the table for a pen, but it was too far away. The police officer reached for his gun. The man on the beach reached out his hand and begged for help. Tanya hopes to reach her goal of becoming a lawyer within the next few years. When you reach retirement, you should have enough money saved to live comfortably. We won't reach New York until late this evening. The survivors of the boating accident reached dry land after several hours in the ocean. I tried reaching you on your cell phone, but you didn't answer. The best way to reach me is by email. It's also possible to use reach as a noun. Excuse my reach. Her goals are within reach. We're within reach of our destination. When the man made a reach for his gun, the police officer shot him. React. To react is to respond to something. Something happens, and then there is a result. There could be a change or no change at all. The simple form is react. The past tense is reacted. The past participle is reacted. Passengers on the bus reacted with anger when they were told to get off and wait outside for a new bus to show up. The children reacted with glee at the sight of the newly fallen snow. Natalie didn't react well when her boyfriend broke up with her. How do you think the students will react when they find out they have to take another test this week? The patient is reacting well to the new medication. The word reaction is a noun. What was the woman's reaction when she heard the news? Mario had a bad reaction to his new medication, so the doctor prescribed something else. There was little to no reaction among the people of the country when they found out their leader was dead. We're expecting a positive reaction from our employees when they find out we're raising their salaries. The falling of dominoes is a good example of a chain reaction. Ready. The word ready means that something or someone is prepared to do something. Are you ready? Are you ready to go? I'm ready when you are. Get ready. Ready, set, go. Dinner is ready. We can eat now. When will my order be ready? This isn't ready yet. The repair guy said that my car isn't ready yet. Jose says he isn't quite ready to get married yet. What time do you get ready to leave in the morning? A person has to be ready to change before accepting help for a serious problem. The word readily is an adverb. Help is readily available if you need it. Emergency vehicles are readily available in our community. When a clear answer to the question was not readily available, the student made something up off the top of his head. It's possible to use ready as a verb. In this case, a reflexive pronoun usually follows. It's necessary to ready yourself for what's to come. William is working hard to ready himself for college. The students readied themselves for a big test. The word readiness is a noun. Karen is showing a readiness to change her behavior. Military readiness is important in the event of a crisis. Hurricanes constantly test Florida's readiness for natural disasters. Real. Something that is real is something that you can see or something that is true. You can use this as an adjective when describing people or objects. Those are real diamonds. Donna thinks the coat is made with real fur, but it's just polyester. He's a real lawyer. He went to law school and passed the bar exam. These apples look real, but they're artificial. They're just used as decorations. Is this real chicken? Their love is real. Sometimes the word real is used as an intensifier, a word which increases the degree of the thing it describes. That is a real problem. This customer is a real pain in the neck. We need real solutions that can fix our economy. Bob is a real friend when you need someone to be there for you. Some students confuse the words real and really. Remember, real is an adjective that describes nouns, and really is an adverb that can be used with verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. This is a really big problem. This customer is really hard to deal with. We really need to fix our economy. Bob is a really good friend. Recently, the word really has been used to question a person's reason for doing something. The emphasis on really has the effect of identifying stupidity. He took his kids out on a boat without life vests or life preservers? Really? You bought a car without ever driving it? Really? They burn their garbage in their backyard? Really? That's illegal. Really? Realize. To realize is to begin to understand or comprehend. The simple form is realize. The past tense is realized. And the past participle is realized. The student didn't realize he had made a mistake until someone pointed it out. When we realized how much a new car was going to cost, we decided to buy a used car. Frank finally realizes how much his family means to him. No one realized how much pain Felicia was in until she went to the hospital. You won't realize a profit on your stocks until you sell them. After realizing huge losses, the company went out of business. The word realization is a noun. The owner of the company came to the realization that he would have to start laying off employees. Following the sudden realization that their water supply was about to dry up, the farmers made a decision to move. Receive. The verb receive is similar to the verb get. Dan got an email from his boss. Dan received an email from his boss. Patricia got a package in the mail. Patricia received a package in the mail. The students got rewards for their accomplishments. The students received rewards for their accomplishments. Our friends got some bad news yesterday. Our friends received some bad news yesterday. Mary gets money from her family. Mary receives money from her family. The level of diction for the word receive is higher than it is for the word get. So in some circumstances, it might be a better choice. Recommend. To recommend is to say that something or someone is good. Bob's boss recommended him for a new position. Bob was recommended for a new position by his boss. He was highly recommended. The teacher recommends that you study English for 1 hour every day. I recommend that you work on your vocabulary. When we arrived in New York, our cab driver recommended several good places to get pizza. If I visit your city, which hotel do you recommend? What do you recommend? The doctor has been recommending increased exercise for most of his patients. You should do what the doctor recommends. Most teachers don't recommend that their students watch a lot of television. I don't recommend that. The word recommendation is a noun. I'd like to make a recommendation. Sarah's previous boss wrote a letter of recommendation for her. She asked her boss for a letter of recommendation in order to get a new job. Do you have any recommendations for places to get something to eat in your city? We made a decision to buy a washing machine based on the recommendation of a friend. Record. There are a few different meanings for the word record when it's used as a noun. In the first set of examples, a record is an athletic performance that is better than anyone else's. How many world records were broken during the Olympic Games in London? Cameron Vanderberg of South Africa set a new world record to win the 100-meter breaststroke. Dana Vollmer of the United States broke a swimming record in the 100-meter butterfly. A record could also be in the form of information. Leonard's medical records show that he has a history of heart problems. The school doesn't have a record showing that Sarah attended there. The Federal Bureau of Investigations keeps records on people whom they suspect are involved in criminal activity. A record is also a round disc that was once popular for playing music. The Beatles had many hit records during the 1960s. Vinyl records are still available at many music shops. Tina's group wants to make a record, so they're planning a trip to Nashville. Before CDs and digitized music, there were record players that played records. Nowadays, the word turntable is used in place of record player. When this word is a verb, the accent is on the second syllable. Record. Record. She records music with her computer. Do you know how to use your phone for recording video? You should record yourself speaking English and listen to it to see how much you have improved. Recover. To recover is to have something returned. It could be something that was lost, stolen, forgotten, or swept away by strong forces in nature. Somehow, Samantha's lost wedding ring was recovered after 30 years. Recovered works of art that disappeared during World War II are now back in the museums where they were first displayed. The police recovered valuable merchandise stolen from a store downtown. Sailors were able to recover the remains of people who were victims of a storm. Some of the luggage lost in the storm was never recovered. Ralph recovered his boat from the other side of the lake after it broke loose from the dock. A person recovers after a difficult emotional experience. Juan never recovered from his wife's untimely death. The family is still trying to recover from the devastating loss. Jill quickly recovered after her divorce. It was difficult for Ted to recover from the loss of a job he held for 25 years. Everyone wonders if Bill's reputation will ever recover from a drug-related prison sentence. To recover is also to regain one's health after sickness. Jennifer is still recovering following a nasty cold. It's taken her a long time to recover. Her recovery took weeks. Jade quickly recovered from a stroke. Doctors called her recovery a miracle.
Your friends all say